Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. This week, we're breaking down for you UFC Fight Night, Rafael Dos Anjos versus Paul the motherfucking Felder, which is, I would say, a 10 times more interesting matchup than the Islam Makhachev, because let's be honest, the Makhachev matchup was basically just a setup for the exact type of personnel beat RDA, so they could give him a name, so they could basically just market him Khabib 2.0. It was basically just for a promo. So I'm glad we actually have a good matchup. And so
I
kudos
just
to
didn't
Paul.
like that fight in general.
No,
Regardless of that point, which is a very valid and true point. But dude, I gotta be honest. Islam Makhachev bores the fuck out of me.
he does.
And I know he's kind of finished guys before, but he just seems like one of those guys that he's just. When's the last time you've watched an Islam Makhachev fight and went, "Holy fuck, that was cool"? Like even Khabib, as much as I was not a fan, when he's shit talking Michael Johnson and I can get behind that. That's good quality entertainment right there. But I don't know, man.
He's just
Makhachev,
off-brand Khabib. Off-brand Khabib. That's
he's
just
Walmart brand Khabib.
and it's like I wasn't already like it's not like Khabib had the most spectacular rise either. It was just very There's a reason why it took so long to give him a fucking title shot. It's because it's like wrestling fucking people is not always the most fun to watch, and especially when you are horrible on the mic. So this is a way more interesting matchup, and kudos to Paul Felder for just being a motherfucking G and being like, yeah, 5 days notice, RDA, I got you. Especially knowing how much weight Paul Felder cuts, that's like the biggest.
I was very concerned. I didn't know whether this was going to be at 170 or 155. It's at 55, right?
At
I'm
55.
correct in that?
So, I mean, hats off to him because he cuts like a motherfucker to get down to 155. I don't know how he makes it. I've seen him in person, and it's like, dude, this guy looks like he fights middleweight. So kudos to him. But as far as the whole card, kind of tough to find some picks here. But I think in the last on the last UFC fight, they said bets are like 29, I believe, after
Yeah, I
the
was going to
last two
say,
fights.
no, it's not a tough card, dude. You just take chalk.
It's 29-4. So let's say there I decided, you know what? This is the week because all the people that are now MMA sharks because they've been literally betting all the favorites. This is the week that water finds its level. So I got a lot of
Oh,
dog hunting here.
we
I
are
got a
going
lot
to
of
be
dog hunting.
totally opposite on this.
Oh shit. Well,
I'm going, and this is going to be,
chalkity chalk.
yeah,
All right.
mouthful of
Well,
chalk.
you got 3 bets. I got 4. So we'll get started. I'll go first. I'm going Ronda Marcos over this Kanaku Murata. This is this girl's first fight in the UFC, and I think she comes over from former Invicta champ, 5'1" Asian chick. I looked at all her wins, like all by submission, all just by like being able to just fucking take people down, wrestle fuck them. At 5'1", 115 pounds, Ronda Marcos is a I think she's pretty good grappler. I think she's had some tough breaks because of the competition she's gone against. I think her last 2 losses were to Mackenzie Dern, and then it was another Amanda Ribas. Then I think she beat Angie Hill and then lost to Claudia Gadelia. So it's like she's had some she's kind of has a warrior record. I think she's like 10-9, but I think people are just seeing the last 2 losses and automatically being like, Ronda Marcos sucks. Write her off. This new girl's gonna come in. She's the next Wiley Zhang, whatever. It's like, well, if this girl's MO is to try to wrestle her, like if she can't take Ronda Marcos down, I kind of like Ronda Marcos here. So at plus 160, I'm going with the dog here. Water's gonna find its level. First bet locked in.
Okay, I'm going the opposite way.
Damn.
Yeah, I've got the other chick. First of all, next Wiley Zhang. This girl's Japanese. Wiley Zhang is Chinese. Secondly, I think you might have missed the part of her accolades section where she is a 2-time silver and 1-time gold medalist in the Asian Wrestling Championships, which I would say puts her grappling significantly above Ronda Marcos. Ronda Marcos is good against people that like don't like. She won that Angie Hill fight, but did she really? Like that was another one of the Angie Hill robberonis, and it's like I just don't know if this is the type of fight where you've got, because I'm trying to think of like, here we go. Let's pull it up here. Okay, so Ronda Marcos beats Ashley Yoder, split decision. Oh, she actually beat Angie Hill by armbar. My bad. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's what I was
counts.
gonna say. I'm pretty sure it's submission. You're like, did
And,
she really win? Well,
and,
according
yeah,
to
she
a guy
did.
like Sean
But other
O'Malley,
than
maybe
that,
not.
you've got okay. Couldn't beat Nina Ansaroff. Couldn't beat Alexa Grasso, who we know has horrible wrestling. Uh, we somehow squeezed a decision against Carla Esparza in there. That's actually not a bad win. And then we couldn't beat Courtney Casey. Also horrible wrestling. I mean, this is dating back to August of 2016. So there are there's a cause for concern here in the grappling department, and I never have liked Ronda Marcos' stand up. The chalk is 29-4 in the last 2 weeks, like you said. I feel like women's wrestling in Asia, they do better on the international scene than the guys. I feel like men's is more
Mhm,
dominated by like Iran. I mean, India always has some strong players, but
mhm.
that Middle Eastern area, of course, Russia and stuff like that. But I feel like Japan, they I feel right. I might be wrong in
Yeah,
that, but I
no,
feel like
I
Japan and
don't really know
Korea.
the women's to be perfectly honest,
I
but
feel like they always have pretty strong showings, like Japan, Korea in the women's division. So I'm gonna take this chick's accolades. I don't think
I
Ronda
did not
Marcos
know
is
she
gonna
had those
get.
accolades. So hand up on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that at the minus 185. I mean, she does. We could have a like a little bit more polished Nadia Kasem situation on our hands here, like you said, but I'm taking the chalk. We're 29-4. Let's keep the odds are in my favor.
Anyone with fucking world titles, or I guess Asian titles in wrestling is that is a slap in the face to even compare to Nadia Queso. But my only concern is
Well,
like
I mean,
still
dude,
a one trick pony.
hey, look, I'm an unbiased.
Yeah.
I am an unbiased third party here. Like, I'm looking at her best win. The two biggest names on her record are Emily Dakota, who's been gotten the fucking brakes beat off
Yeah.
of her in every Bellator fight, and Angela Magana, who's the chick that requested that her dog walks out to the
Oh,
octagon
that
with
shit
her
sucks.
because
Fuck
she
yeah.
is scared.
Yeah, that
So
girl sucks.
the record is a little, and it's also somewhat concerning now that I'm looking at I saw the submissions, but now that I'm actually looking up what submissions they are, a lot of Von Flu chokes on the record. So that just means the people that she's fighting are morons. So I don't
That's
know.
what I'm taking a flyer on her because I feel like what if she's a one trick pony where it's like if she can't sub her, then she's like, fuck, I literally don't know how to do anything else. She's just only been able to fucking sub people. And then so I'm hoping that if Ronda Marcos can stuff the takedown, maybe she makes it ugly. But hey,
Yeah, I don't
I
know. The
think that
problem is I don't know what
basically
this Japanese girl stand up looks like, but I know Ronda Marcos' stand up don't look great.
that
So
is
I'm
true.
taking odds on the athlete.
All
I'll
right,
take the
all right,
favorite.
all right. Well, moving on. I'm going to the Jose Quinones over on Luis Smoka fight. I'm going Quinones. I know he just got fucking starched by Sean O'Malley, but I mean, Sean O'Malley does kind of starch a lot of people. Again, I think we've talked about Luis Smoka before. Like, is Luis Smoka supposed to be good? Like, why is he favored here?
I
Like,
left this off my card, but I very much thought about going with Keones. How does he keep ending up being the favorite?
I don't know, but he's like always the fucking favorite here. Like, he's
And
supposed to go in and fucking
he
dominate.
loses like I feel like when Smoka loses, it's rarely this hotly contested decision. He
No,
gets
clear.
steamrolled by plus 300 underdogs.
Yeah, it's been like clear, like, oh, Smoko's supposed to go in, it's supposed to be good, but he's gonna have the edge here, and then he gets fucking rolled. And it's like, wait, why was Smoko supposed to win here? So based on that alone, again, Quinones doesn't have the best record. I think he's like 9-4. But I remember
That's
watching
why I
one
left
fight
it
and being
off.
like, oh, I think Quinones actually could be pretty good. And I remember seeing one fight, I was like, Smoko ain't fucking good at all. He's just gonna try to knock your head off. So at plus 124, sticking with the trend, going with the dog.
Okay, I'm going in. I'm next one. We're jumping up. More chalk. We're going Kay Hansen. I like this is the chick that's like 19 or something or
Mhm.
20. She's like super young. And the girl she's fighting, I knew I recognized the name. Corey McKenna. This girl barely eked out a way. This is just mostly I'm picking this because again, I'm just gonna ride some chalk and see what happens. See if trends continue. But this Corey McKenna chick, like a lot big power puncher. Like she's a short. Her nickname's a Hobbit, short little chick, and she just kind of like bullied the girl that she fought on the Contender Series, and I
Mhm.
believe this is her first fight out of the Contender Series. I just don't think she's going to be able to bully Kay Hansen. Like Kay Hansen really worked over that Jin Yu Fry chick in her debut, and then put her away with the gorgeous sub in the third. Like that, she looks quite polished for somebody that is that young. And Corey McKenna is also that young. I don't think that she is one of these 30-year-olds on their last run at glory on the Contender Series. I think she was also one of these like 20, 21-year-old, 22-year-olds or something. So she's got a long way to go before she realizes like, yeah, I just can't bully people. I'm taking Hansen. She's minus 225, but fuck it. Like 29-4.
Is that the Hobbit or is the other girl the Hobbit?
The other girl's the Hobbit.
All right. What a I just picture fucking these big hairy feet. Now that you call her the Hobbit.
I'm trying to think of, I don't know what Kay Hansen's nickname is. Yeah, I don't know. Not important.
It should be,
he's gonna win.
It should be Kay Umbop Hansen. No, that would be electric. Or she should come out to fucking Umbop. That would be awesome.
She literally doesn't have a nickname, I don't think.
Boo.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I feel like you could go no nickname if you already have like a cool name. Like,
oh, I do think Kay Hansen's a t-shirt girl though. That makes me a little
switching nervous. The pick.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, no, I'm sticking to the pick, but shit, that was something I just found out live.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to my last pick before the lock. I'm going main event here. I'm going Paul Felder. I got to go Paul Felder. I respect the man too fucking much. He's been into some fucking wars. I think he won the Dan Hooker fight mainly because I bet on Paul Felder. So I had that bias going. And I get that RDA was really good. And I'm not willing to write him off as being totally washed. But a loss to Michael Chiesa is pretty ugly.
I don't know. Michael Chiesa at 170 looks kind of good.
That is true. He looks like might be on a little steroids too, but that's a different conversation.
Still looks good.
Yes.
We don't discriminate here.
But if you look like Kevin Lee, solid win, but that was Kevin Lee going up to 170, not being prepared at all for carrying extra weight and totally gassing out. RDA's record has been pretty fucking salty. Granted, it's been against good competition and it's been against the same type of fighter, a guy that's going to go into you and just wrestle you and take you down, basically put you in the Edson Barbosa position where you're against the fence. You're just looking up at the clock being like, fuck, how did I end up here once again? Granted, Paul Felder is not that type of fighter, but I think the physicality of Felder at 155 too. I just feel like it might not be so much like the wrestler matchup as it is a guy like RDA wants to go in there and be the fucking hammer. If he can like push you around, out wrestle you, do that type of stuff, it's going to go his way. But I think Paul Felder is just too physical, too strong that eventually like RDA is just not going to be able to get his shit going. And especially if this is 5 rounds, I know RDA has fucking sick cardio and he's going to be there for all 5 rounds, but like Paul Felder is able to pull from a very dark place in rounds 3, 4, and 5, or just the end of any fight, like the Edson Barbosa fight. Like the ending of that fight was fucking gnarly as hell. I feel like he just finds a way to pull wins out of his ass because he just doesn't quit. And I could see him like maybe hurting RDA late. Like I feel like it's gonna be competitive, and then he just fucking drops his ass out of nowhere because let's be honest, RDA is no spring chicken anymore. And I know great cardio usually means great chin, but Paul Felder hits like a motherfucker. So I want to go here. I again want to go with the dogs, and I love Paul Felder. The more exposure to him, the more I just like him. So I'm hammering that one home. Plus 165. Nick, let's hear you going the opposite way.
Nope. This is the only dog pick we got. We're going the same way on this one. Because you think Paul Felder is going to hurt RDA late? No. Or you were wrong about that. I think he's going to hurt him early. I was looking at RDA's. I mean, dude, I just think we've all missed the writing on the wall. Mm-hmm. This dude we've got 2, 4, 6. I mean, dude, we are 4 and 6 in our last 10 with the wins coming over Tarek Safadine, Neil Magny, Robbie Lawler, kind of sad, Kevin Lee, very sad at this point. Mm-hmm. The losses, I mean, they're not to slouches. But
they're commanding losses.
They are
statement losses, but it's the wrong statement.
Eddie Alvarez nuked him. Tony Ferguson beat the shit out of him. Colby Covington beat the shit out of him. Usman beat the shit out of him. Leon Edwards beat the shit out of him. And then cherry on top, like you said, Michael Chiesa beat the shit out of him. It just, dude, I think we're just in that sad time of RDA's career. And this is just one of those matchups where, like, I could see RDA maybe trying to just go full wrestling now, but I gotta imagine most of his training was for defensive wrestling
Yeah.
with the Makachev fight. So like, I don't know that he has had a lot of time to. And I mean, dude, he's got good wrestling when he wants to
Yeah.
use it. Like that's how he beat Pettis. He just
Yeah.
wrestled him. But I don't know that he had a lot of time to do that. And I really do. I know Paul Felder's a little older too, but I just think RDA might be in the sunken place.
I think people want to believe it's just the matchups because they have been a lot of similar matchups that have beaten that style. But like that,
yeah, I mean, the last four have been pretty identical: Colby, Usman, Chiesa, and Leon Edwards. That's a tough stretch.
Yeah, it for sure. But like, so it makes like the storyline fits where it's like, oh, only when he goes over these pressure wrestlers. But like, I think it's masking the fact that he might be shot. You know, the fact that people are like, oh, you can write it. It's so easy to write it off. It's just the matchup. It's just the matchup. It's just the matchup. True. But it's like, if he can't get over the, I don't expect Paul Felder to be able to go out there and replicate that. But it's like, if there's blatant holes to your game and a path to victory that is very clear, like, how much Paul Felder really need to change his game to be like, okay, I just need to kind of like pressure into him. Maybe like Paul Felder's pretty good on the ground too. I know he's not a takedown artist and stuff, but if he's able to get him against the fence, find his own way in the clinch to try to get him down, like Paul Felder used to be a lot more of a grappler and a ground and pound person. It's like if you see RDA at any point against the fence looking up at the clock, he's gonna be in deep trouble, and especially at the odds too, man. It's like a guy that's, what is it, 4-6 in his last 10 to be almost minus 200 favorite. Like,
don't like that.
It's
don't
a
like that
last
one
second
bit.
fight, but Felder, like,
as long as Felder hits the weight, okay, I think
he wouldn't have taken this fight if he didn't think his gas was already there. I guess he's been training for a triathlon or something. Like, he wouldn't have taken it if he didn't think, all right, I'm be able to give it my best fucking shot. So I'm glad we're on the same side of that one.
Yeah.
And then moving on, was that your lock?
That is my lock of the week.
Okay, that's your lock of the week. My lock of the week is coming. I think it's first fight on the card: Brendan Allen versus Sean Strickland.
Is this your guy, or is this the guy that has the yips, or is that Tom Breeze?
No, that's Tom Breeze.
Okay.
Mainly because
Tom Breeze and Sean Strickland do look a lot alike, though.
That is true, and they both have wins over Tom Breeze. But basically, like, Brendan Allen's kind of been a low key force. Like, I've been looking at his wins. He got some pretty solid wins in him. He's like 18-3 or something like that. And Sean Strickland's going.
He's from the UK?
No, I don't believe so. I think hold on, let me see. He might be. Brendan Allen MMA. No, I don't think so, because he's a fucking wrestler. So that would make, with the name Brendan Allen. Let's see. Yeah, from the US. Yeah, if you took one look at this guy, you would for sure know he's American. So he's on a 7-fight win streak. Let's see who his last fights were. Kyle Dukakis, Tom Breeze, round 1 ground and pound. Has a win over Kevin Holland at 185, which that was the big one that stuck out for me, because Kevin Holland's like no slouch to fucking beat. Like, he's slowly but surely. I know Helwani's really trying to make the case Kevin Holland fighter of the year, but like, all right, let's be fucking honest. It's not Kevin Holland. So Sean Strickland going up in weight class against a guy that's a dominant fucking wrestler that's going to impose his grappling. I know Sean Strickland's good at fucking striking, and Brendan Allen is majorly lacking in striking, but he's not going to fuck around at all. He's going to go. He's going to take him down. He's going to ground and pound him. My only favorite on the card, Brendan Allen, minus 120.
Yeah, fair enough. That guy looks like crackhead Ryan on Ryan, kind of.
Yeah, he looks like such a fucking wrestler, bro. Like, he is the guy that just
he played lacrosse in the wrestling offseason growing up, and like that was his thing.
Although a loss to Eric Anders, well, that's an LFA. Granted, Eric Anders is like 200 fucking pounds now. What the fuck?
Eric Anders fighting on this card. People forget that.
I know. I almost bet against him. So
probably pretty safe. I think he's like a 1-9 in his last 10. So
yeah, he's not good, but I just that's an emotional hedge, because if I'm out on Eric Anders because I bet on him against what's his name?
Greg Hardy.
No, Khalil Roundtree.
Oh, that. Okay.
And it was like, fuck, scorn customer. I can't do this, because the next time if I bet against Eric Anders, then he's gonna fuck me in the ass. So I'm just staying away from that. So those are our picks. As always, we appreciate you guys tweeting us your picks. You can find us at Below the Belt MMA. You can find me at Broliva, and you can find Nick at _ a guy in a gi on Twitter. So until next week, where we have a fucking probably not stacked of a card, do we? Is that any good? Is that the bullshit fucking dual belts one that they're trying to shove down our
I think
throats?
that's dude. I think that's in December. I've got to be honest. I think that's a little ways away. We have a lot more shit to wade through before we get to that. I'll tell you right now. So we. Oh, just kidding. I am fucking wrong. That is actually the double belt
I'm
extravaganza.
not the fact that it was like, oh wait, it is the double belt, and it's like in my head, I'm just like,
We got the guy that did that sick fucking spinning kick back though.
really?
Yeah. Hey, this card fucking blows like in terms of the quality of fights that we're gonna see. But there are some names that I like, whether or not it's for comical reasons or what. I mean, so you've got what is going to be an all-time hilarious matchup between Cynthia Calvillo and Caitlin Chukagian. Mike Perry versus Tim Means. That I'm actually excited to watch.
Mm-hmm.
This takes the cake for the funniest fight on the card, without a doubt. You've got Shogun Hua fighting Paul Craig. That is going to be great TV.
That will be great TV.
Ariane
The
Lipsky's
worst
on.
way.
Never hate watching her fight. So you got that. Alan Joban taking a break from Versace to get back in the ring.
He's gonna fucking lose, man. How old is that guy now? He was old back. I feel like he's got to be approaching.
He's
40.
like Rockhold's age. He's like 38, and he's fighting Jared Gordon, who, Jared Gordon's pretty beatable.
Yeah.
And then you've got the double title fights, which is like, okay, whatever. I can't believe Davison Figueiredo's only a -300 spot right now, though. That seems somewhat low. And then, like I said, you
think
got this
low
dude,
-300?
who the fuck is Alex Perez? Davison Figueiredo
I
is
don't
pretty
know
good
Alex
at fighting.
Perez that well, but the fact that I like
Davison Figueiredo is pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
And then
I
you
just
got the guy
remember
that
Alex
did
Perez is the
the
guy that, like,
spinning 360 kick.
Alex Perez like TKO'd someone with leg kicks, and I bet the other guy, and so that was awful.
Oh yeah, that kind of sucks. But hey, yeah. So all things considered, maybe not for quality. I mean, I'm not looking at a whole lot of these that I'm really interested in watching. Like, let's see, maybe just to see how fast Valentina can hit the under. And then the Mike Perry, Tim Means, I'm very interested in watching. Other than that, I don't care too much, but I will say there are names that make this interesting.
All right. Well, until next week, those will be our bets. So peace out, y'all. You know where to find us. Goodbye. It's an awkward ending.